on a Sunday. Goodness me. You have the best rest ever today. I like the book reading stream. Ah, hi Kat. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hello. How are you? These reflections have dispelled the agitation with which I began my letter, and I feel my heart glow with an enthusiasm which elevates me to heaven, for nothing contributes so much to tranquilize the mind as a steady purpose. True. A point on which the soul may fix its intellectual eye. This expedition has been the favorite dream of my early years. I have read with ardor the accounts of the various voyages which have been made in the prospect of arriving at the North Pacific Ocean through these seas which surround the pole. You may remember that a history of all the voyages made for purposes of discovery composed the whole of our good Uncle Thomas's library. My education was neglected, yet I was passionately fond of reading. These volumes were my study day and night, and my familiarity with them increased that regret which I had felt as a child, on learning that my father's dying injunction had forbidden my uncle to allow me to embark in a seafaring life. Gonna be okay for a moment. Okay, take your time. But yeah, what did you get up to this weekend, Kat? Have you been? I feel like we haven't had a proper chat for a while. Where have you been? I've been worried sick. These visions faded when I perused. I swear to God, these old books, they're a debuff. I don't understand. Hi Ojo, hi, how are you? How's your ear? How you feeling? I know, yeah, you better know. More reading? Yes, more reading today. We're reading Frankenstein today. Don't worry, you've not really missed very much yet. These visions faded when I perused, for the first time, those poets whose effusions entranced my soul and lifted it to heaven. I also became a poet, and for 1 year lived in a paradise of my own creation. I imagined that I also might obtain a niche in the temple, where the names of Homer and Shakespeare are consecrated. You are well acquainted with my failure and how heavily I bore the disappointment. But just at that time I inherited the fortune of my cousin, and my thoughts were turned into the channel of their earlier bent. I've been good. I'm waiting my new job, December 8th, and just finishing this current job. Oh goodness, switching jobs, eh? I hope it goes well. Are you nervous for your new job? You got this. Also, hi Soy, hello. I accepted the game that you gifted, even though I'm very, very sus. But yes, thank you for the meme game, yes. I'm doing okay, probably. My ear is still healing, but I think okay. What do you mean you think? I saw that. I love that for you. Soy gifting sus games. Yes. I was like, oh my god, is this hentai? Now my library is cursed. Good morning. Hello, Gecko. How are you today? Welcome. How are you feeling? I keep thinking of the countryside more and more, but Vegas is alright for now. Oh, I forgot you're living in Vegas. Dude, get out there. Go get a farm and some cows. Do it. Of course I'm gonna gift it to people. True. Yeah, new job is gonna be awesome. It's network engineering, so exactly what I want to learn. Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Hell yeah. We love people enjoying their jobs. Let's go. I hope it goes well for you. You got this, I believe. Just my mind being a beep on me. Oh, well, what has happened? Are you a sad cat today? It seems everyone is a bit down today, but that's okay. We can get through it together. Let's all be sad together, and all those minuses make it plus. Yes, that's how math works. 6 years have passed since I resolved on my present undertaking. I can, even now, remember the hour from which I dedicated myself to this great enterprise. I commenced by inuring my body to hardship. I accompanied the whale fishers on several expeditions to the North Sea. I voluntarily endured cold, famine, thirst, and want of sleep. I often worked harder than the common sailors during the day, and devoted my nights to the study of mathematics, the theory of medicine, and those branches of physical science from which a naval adventurer might derive the greatest practical advantage. Twice I actually hired myself as an undermate in a Greenland whaler, and acquitted myself to admiration. I must own I felt a little proud when my captain offered me the second dignity in the vessel, and entreated me to remain with the greatest earnestness. So valuable did he consider my services. Oh, appreciate that, Noah. You a good one. Thank you. But no problem, I'm just hoping for the best for you, and I'm happy to hear from you. Today's a sad day, but it's okay. Yeah, sometimes we have sad days, but that makes the happy days even better. You know what I mean? Hope tomorrow's gonna be better. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. And now, dear Margaret, do I not deserve to accomplish some great purpose? My life might have been passed in ease and luxury, but I preferred glory to every enticement that wealth placed in my path. Oh, that some encouraging voice would answer in the affirmative. My courage and my resolution is firm, but my hopes fluctuate, and my spirits are often depressed. I am about to proceed on a long and difficult voyage, the emergencies of which will demand all my fortitude. I am required not only to raise the spirits of others, but sometimes to sustain my own, when theirs are failing. This is the most favorable period for traveling in Russia. They fly quickly over the snow in their sledges. The motion is pleasant, and in my opinion, far more agreeable than that of an English stagecoach. The cold is not excessive if you are wrapped in furs, a dress which I have already adopted, for there is a great difference between walking the deck and remaining seated motionless for hours, when no exercise prevents the blood from actually freezing in your veins. I have no ambition to lose my life on the post road between St. Petersburg and Archangel. Goodness. I shall depart for the latter town in a fortnight or 3 weeks, and my intention is to hire a ship there, which can easily be done by paying the insurance for the owner, and to engage as many sailors as I think necessary among those who are accustomed to the whale fishing. I do not intend to sail until the month of June. And when shall I return? Ah, dear sister, how can I answer this question? If I succeed, many, many months, perhaps years, will pass before you and I may meet. If I fail, you will see me again, soon or never. Farewell, my dear. Excellent, Margaret. Heaven shower down blessings on you, and save me, that I may again and again testify my gratitude for all your love and kindness. That is so sweet. Your affectionate brother, R. Walton. Goodness. My God, your voice is so calming. I was gonna fall asleep in the subway. Don't fall asleep! You gotta get home! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Ah! But I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. To be honest, my last days were very yes, but that's okay. Maybe your reading makes it better. Well, I think it's mainly your ear, right? I mean, that's understandable. It sounds really painful. So I hope you do feel better soon.
Wake up!
Like, completely.
Get out of your chair right
now! My days have been sad as of late, but it's getting better. Just stick with it all. Yeah, exactly. There are better days ahead, I am sure. I have had some sad days as well. I think it also doesn't help that it's winter, so it's like dark all the time now, and it's raining all the time, and it's like, ugh. It just makes life like so much more depressing if you don't get to like walk in the sunshine, you know what I mean? Even though I don't like the sunshine when it's too sunny, but I'd rather have it for my mood, you see. Right, I've been saying that since so long, and her voice is so calming and cozy. I'm glad. I haven't really felt that way since seeing an Okaju holo live stream for the first time. Aww. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my god, no, hi. LeBron is my sunshine. What has he done? What's LeBron done? That's the sport guy, right? LeBron James? James? Is that his name? I don't know. Jason? Jason LeBron? Jason? I don't know. I like already feeling the winter. It's snowing the second. Is it snowing already there? It's supposed to snow like next week. It's gonna be so cold. Ah. Oh, that's what I need to get tomorrow. I already need to go to Boots tomorrow because Koopsie has this tendency of running out of things and not telling me, and I don't know why he does this. Like, he's been out of shower gel this whole time, so I bet he's been using my shower wash. How dare he? But yeah, he just doesn't tell me, even though I can just go get it, but he just doesn't tell me. But yeah, anyway, so tomorrow I'm gonna go to Boots. So I need to get a scarf, because I don't have my own scarf. Because I remember buying it in the previous place that we lived, and I left it in a restaurant. And I called them like a week later, like, oh my god, do you have my scarf? And apparently they threw it away. It was so devastating. There's just like this distinct feeling that I cannot handle, like losing your stuff and knowing that it's been thrown away. Like just this feeling that a useful thing has been like is gonna end up on a landfill. It just feels so terrible. Like, I feel so bad about it still. Every time I think about it, it's like a stab in my heart. I can't. Oh. Literally, in like a month, I lost my keys. I lost my scarf. I lost my coat. Like, all in the same month. It was so painful. Yeah, I'm terrible at losing things. I like just sometimes turn off my brain and I just leave things and then I lose it. It's terrible. Just quickly, not hearing anything can really beep up your mind and make you feel very depressed, which I didn't know until now. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you're not used to it, it must feel like really isolating. And like, I think, okay, this is just me like brainstorming, but I bet like just having all that silence makes you think more, maybe? Like you can hear yourself think more? Yeah, I don't. I understand, Dojo. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're recovering now, at least. LeBron the GOAT James. So he is James? Yo, no, I got news now that I think about it. What's your news? I did a snowman with my friend and kinda had fun. It was my first snowman since 12. Oh, that's so nice. It's crazy that you have enough snow that you can do that, though. It's never snowed. It's been so long since it snowed enough for a snowman here, actually. I remember as a child, it would like snow properly and it was like a proper pack and everything, but now it just doesn't do it anymore. It's so sad. I miss it. If there would be a very cozy Noah scarf, I think I would wear it. What do you mean, like I made it? I don't even know. I thought about it before, right? Not that I'm planning to, but I thought about it before, like what would Noah merch even look like? It would be something with like, I don't know, goldfishes on it. That I don't even know what to think of, but all I know is that I would actually make merch that is pretty. Because I hate that so many people that make merch, it's always ugly. It's always ugly. I feel like they never actually put effort into it. Like, never. It's always just like a black shirt with a picture on it. It's just like, can you do something more creative? Like, I feel like the only person that I bought merch from that I actually wear, like, non-ironically, because I think it's pretty, is PewDiePie. Like, I feel like he genuinely makes good merch. I haven't checked it recently, but, like, I have, like, 2 or 3 things, and they look really cool. It just is what it is. Remember that stadium picture I shared on Discord? I'm going back already? Wow. Aren't the tickets expensive though? Noah, drop the merch. Nah, I'm not big enough for merch. Sorry. A figure I can put inside my oh my god. I think I'd cry if I had a figure. That'd be so cool. Can you imagine? Wow. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I suppose you can pay an independent artist to make your figure. Actually, if I ever quit VTubing, I think I would like commission someone to do that for me just as a memory. But it's gonna be so weird though, because like people might walk in and they're like, "Oh my god, an anime figurine! Where is she from?" And I'll be like, "That's me." Yes. Now I want to do that, but I bet it's really expensive though. PewDiePie and Marcia goated with their merch. They put effort. They do put like I feel like they genuinely have good taste. Like they're good at making that kind of stuff, which I'm so grateful for. This is what I'm saying. I so often had people that I loved watching, but their merch, and I want to support them, but their merch is so ugly. I'm sorry. I want to support you, but I'm not gonna buy ugly merch. I've got standards. Hold up. I don't hear everything, but I hear something with quitting. What? You're not quitting, right? No, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. No. Sorry. I said if I ever quit VTubing, I think I would commission someone to make like a figurine of my VTuber, just as like a memory, you know? Like now that I think about it, I think that would be such a cool souvenir. Souvenir? Is that the word? Yeah. For now, I live in St. Petersburg for 2 or 3 years. So yeah, the winter. You live in? Have you? Did you tell me this? That is so cool. You live in St. Petersburg? That's sick. I've never been, but it looks like really cool. Like I think it's such a beautiful city, but I suppose it's like all things where it looks so beautiful, but when you live there, you kind of get like desensitized to it and you don't realize the beauty of things. So maybe it's not that cool to you, but it's really cool to me. Well, the first time I paid $14 for the ticket. Now I paid $59 because it's a big match. Oh, wow, $14. That's cheaper than I thought. Oh my god, oh, okay, my heart. It's okay, I'm not quitting, don't worry. I'm not graduating. I mean, I did graduate, but like a different graduate, you see. But yeah, don't worry, guys. You're not getting rid of me anytime soon. But let's continue reading. The second letter. No, I haven't, but yeah, I agree. It's very beautiful. Yeah, it is very beautiful. One day I will visit. One day. To Mrs. Seville, England. How slowly the time passes here, encompassed as I am by frost and snow. Yet a second step is taken towards my enterprise. I have hired a vessel and am occupied in collecting my sailors. Those whom I have already engaged appear to be men on whom I can depend, and are certainly possessed of dauntless courage. But I have one want which I have never yet been able to satisfy, and the absence of the object of which I now feel as a most severe evil. I have no friend, Margaret. When I am glowing with the enthusiasm of success, there will be none to participate my joy. If I am assailed by disappointment, no one will endeavor to sustain me in dejection. I shall commit my thoughts to paper, it is true, but that is a poor medium for the communication of feeling. I desire the company of a man who could sympathize with me, whose eyes would reply to mine. You may deem me romantic, my dear sister, but I bitterly feel the want of a friend. I have no one near me, gentle yet courageous, possessed of a cultivated as well as a capacious mind, whose tastes are like my own, to approve or amend my plans. How would such a friend repair the faults of your poor brother? I am too ardent in execution and too impatient of difficulties, but it is a still greater evil to me that I am self-educated. For the first 14 years of my life, I ran wild on a common and read nothing but our Uncle Thomas's books of voyages. At that age, I became acquainted with the celebrated poets of our own country, but it was only when it had ceased to be in my power to derive its most important benefits from such a conviction that I perceived the necessity of becoming acquainted with more languages than that of my native country. Now I am 28, and I am in reality more illiterate than many schoolboys of 15. It doesn't seem like it. His language is great to me. It is true that I have thought more and that my daydreams are more extended and magnificent, but they want, as the painters call it, keeping. And I greatly need a friend who would have sense enough not to despise me as romantic and affection enough for me to endeavor to regulate my mind. Hi, Wiseman. How are you today? Hello. Everything. Crazy. Still, it takes some skill to find some edible looking fruits and vegetables at times. Dude, that's really a struggle. And it's not for everything or certain things. Sorry, let's actually read. I feel like I've been distracting us. I will continue. So, Victor was talking about not having friends, and he wishes to have a friend to talk to and share his victories with. His victories, if you will. Well, these are useless complaints. I shall certainly find no friend on the wide ocean, nor even here in Archangel, among merchants and seamen. Yet some feelings, unallied to the dross of human nature, beat even in these rugged bosoms. Bosoms. My lieutenant, for instance, is a man of wonderful courage and enterprise. He is madly desirous of glory, or rather, to word my phrase more characteristically, of advancement in his profession. He is an Englishman, and in the midst of national and professional prejudice, unsoftened by cultivation, retains some of the noblest endowments of humanity. I first became acquainted with him on board a whale vessel. Finding that he was unemployed in the city, I easily engaged him to assist in my enterprise. The master is a person of an excellent disposition, and is remarkable in the ship for his gentleness and the mildness of his discipline. This circumstance, added to his well-known integrity and dauntless courage, made me very desirous to engage him. A youth passed in solitude, my best years spent under your gentle and feminine fosterage, has so refined the groundwork of my character that I cannot overcome an intense distaste to the usual brutality exercised on board ship. I'm gonna play for a while before my sleep. Thanks for stream. I had a good time with you all. Have a good night or day. Thank you, Amma. Nice seeing you, and have a good evening. Bye. Bye. I have never believed it to be necessary, and when I heard of a mariner equally noted for his kindliness of heart and the respect and obedience paid to him by his crew, I felt myself peculiarly fortunate in being able to secure his services. I heard of him first in rather a romantic manner, from a lady who owes to him the happiness of her life. This briefly is his story. Some years ago, he loved a young Russian woman of moderate fortune, and having amassed a considerable sum in prize money, the father of the girl consented to the match. He saw his mistress once before the destined ceremony, but she was bathed in tears, and throwing herself at his feet, entreated him to spare her, confessing at the same time that she loved another, but that he was poor, and that her father would never consent to the union. My generous friend reassured the suppliant, and on being informed of the name of her lover, instantly abandoned his pursuit. He had already bought a farm with his money, on which he had designed to pass the remainder of his life, but he bestowed the whole on his rival, together with the remains of his prize money to purchase stock, and then himself solicited the young woman's father to consent to her marriage with her lover, but the old man decidedly refused, thinking himself bound in honor to my friend, who, when he found the father inexorable, quitted his country, nor returned until he heard that his former mistress was married according to her inclination. What a noble fellow, you will exclaim. He is so. But then he is wholly uneducated. He is as silent as a Turk. And a kind of ignorant carelessness attends him, which, while it renders his conduct the more astonishing, detracts from the interest and sympathy which otherwise he would command. Yet do not suppose, because I complain a little, or because I conceive a consolation for my toils, which I may never know, that I am wavering in my resolutions. Those are as fixed as fate, and my voyage is only now delayed until the weather shall permit my embarkation. The winter has been dreadfully severe, but the spring promises well, and it is considered as a remarkably early season, so that perhaps I may sail sooner than I expected. I shall do nothing rashly. You know me sufficiently to confide in my prudence and considerateness whenever the safety of others is committed to my care. I cannot describe to you my sensations on the near prospect of my undertaking. It is impossible to communicate to you a conception of the trembling sensation, half pleasurable and half fearful, with which I am preparing to depart. I am going to unexplored regions, to the land of mist and snow, but I shall kill no albatross. Therefore, do not be alarmed for my safety, or if I should come back to you as worn and as woeful as the ancient mariner, you will smile at my allusion, but I will disclose a secret. I have often attributed my attachment to my passionate enthusiasm for the dangerous mysteries of ocean, to that production of the most imaginative of modern poets. There is something at work in my soul which I do not understand. I am practically industrious, painstaking, a workman to execute with perseverance and labor. But besides this, there is a love for the marvelous, a belief in the marvelous intertwined in all my projects, which hurries me out of the common pathways of men, even to the wild sea and unvisited regions I am about to explore. But to return to dearer considerations, shall I meet you again, after having traversed immense seas and returned by the most southern cape of Africa or America? I dare not expect such success, yet I cannot bear to look on the reverse of the picture. Continue for the present to write to me by every opportunity. I may receive your letters on some occasions when I need them most to support my spirits. I love you very tenderly. Remember me with affection, should you never hear from me again. Your affectionate brother, Robert Walton. Goodness, lots of letters. My dear sister, I write a few lines in haste to say that I am safe and well advanced on my journey. This letter will reach England by a merchantman now on its homeward voyage from Archangel, more fortunate than I, who may not see my native land perhaps for many years. I am, however, in good spirits. My men are bold and apparently firm of purpose, nor do the floating sheets of ice that continually pass up, indicating the dangers of the region towards which we are advancing, appear to dismay them. We have already reached a very high latitude, but it is the height of summer, and although not so warm as in England, the southern gales which blow us speedily towards those shores which I so ardently desire to attain breathe a degree of renovating warmth which I had not expected. No incidents have hitherto befallen us that would make a figure in a letter. One or two stiff gales and the springing of a leak are accidents which experienced navigators scarcely remember to record, and I shall be well content if nothing worse happens to us during our voyage. Adieu, my dear Margaret. Be assured that for my own sake, as well as yours, I will not rashly encounter danger. I will be cool, persevering, and prudent. But success shall crown my endeavors. Wherefore not? Thus far I have gone, tracing a secure way over the pathless seas, the very stars themselves being witnesses and testimonies of my triumph. Why not still proceed over the untamed yet obedient element? What can stop the determined heart and resolved will of man? My swelling heart involuntarily pours itself out thus. But I must finish. Heaven bless my beloved sister. Goodness. So strange an accident has happened to us that I cannot forbear recording it, although it is very probable that you will see me before these papers can come into your possession. Last Monday, July 31st, we were nearly surrounded by ice, which closed in the ship on all sides, scarcely leaving her the sea room in which she floated. Our situation was somewhat dangerous, especially as we were compassed round by a very thick fog. We accordingly lay to, hoping that some change would take place in the atmosphere and weather. About 2 o'clock, the mist cleared away, and we beheld, stretched out in every direction, vast and irregular plains of ice, which seemed to have no end. Some of my comrades groaned, and my own mind began to grow watchful with anxious thoughts, when a strange sight suddenly attracted our attention, and diverted our solicitude from our own situation. We perceived a low carriage, fixed on a sledge and drawn by dogs, pass on towards the north. At the distance of half a mile, a being which had the shape of a man, but apparently of gigantic stature, sat in a sledge and guided the dogs, which we watched the rapid progress of the traveler with our telescopes until he was lost among the distant inequalities of the ice. This appearance excited our unqualified wonder. We were, as we believed, many hundred miles from any land, but this apparition seemed to denote that it was not, in reality, so distant as we had supposed. Shut in, however, by ice, it was impossible to follow his track, which we had observed with the greatest attention. About 2 hours after this occurrence, we heard the ground sea, and before night the ice broke and freed our ship. We, however, lay to until the morning, fearing to encounter in the dark those large loose masses which float about after the breaking up of the ice. I profited of this time to rest for a few hours. In the morning, however, as soon as it was light, I went upon deck and found all the sailors busy on one side of the vessel, apparently talking to someone in the sea. It was in fact a sledge like that we had seen before, which had drifted towards us in the night on a large fragment of ice. Only one dog remained alive, but there was a human being within it, whom the sailors were persuading to enter the vessel. He was not, as the other travelers seemed to be, a savage inhabitant of some undiscovered island, but a European. When I appeared on deck, the master said, "Here is our captain, and he will not allow you to perish on the open sea." On perceiving me, the stranger addressed me in English, although with a foreign accent. "Before I come on board your vessel," said he, "will you have the kindness to inform me whither you are bound?" Sorry, I'm just going to change the... I'm just going to change the video. I feel like the music is a bit distracting, no? I've got an actual fireplace going. There we go. Now it just looks like something's on fire. Never mind. I just want something cozy. Why is it so hard? Just give me a fucking fire. There we go. Perfect. And let us continue. I hope everyone's doing well. Don't fall asleep now. You may conceive my astonishment on hearing such a question addressed to me from a man on the brink of destruction, and to whom I should have supposed that my vessel would have been a resource which he would not have exchanged for the most precious wealth the earth can afford. I replied, however, that we were on a voyage of discovery towards the northern pole. Upon hearing this, he appeared satisfied and consented to come on board. Good God, Margaret, if you had seen the man who thus capitulated for his safety... Oh my goodness. That scared the shit out of me. That's so rude. Upon hearing this, he appeared satisfied and consented to come on board. Good God, Margaret, if you had seen the man who thus capitulated for his safety, your surprise would have been boundless. His limbs were nearly frozen, and his body dreadfully emaciated by fatigue and suffering. I never saw a man in so wretched a condition. We attempted to carry him into the cabin, but as soon as he had quitted the fresh air, he fainted. We accordingly brought him back to the deck and restored him to animation by rubbing him with brandy and forcing him to swallow a small quantity. As soon as he showed signs of life, we wrapped him up in blankets and placed him near the chimney of the kitchen stove. By slow degrees he recovered and ate a little soup, which restored him wonderfully. 2 days passed in this manner before he was able to speak, and I often feared that his sufferings had deprived him of understanding. When he had in some measure recovered, I removed him to my own cabin, and attended on him as much as my duty would permit. I never saw a more interesting creature. His eyes have generally an expression of wildness and even madness, but there are moments when, if anyone performs an act of kindness towards him, or does him the most trifling service, his whole countenance is lighted up, as it were, with a beam of benevolence and sweetness that I never saw equaled. But he is generally melancholy and despairing, and sometimes he gnashes his teeth, as if impatient of the weight of woes that oppressed him. When my guest was a little recovered, I had great trouble to keep off the men who wished to ask him 1,000 questions, but I would not allow him to be tormented by their idle curiosity, in a state of body and mind whose restoration evidently depended upon entire repose. Once, however, the lieutenant asked why he had come so far upon the ice in so strange a vessel. His countenance instantly assumed an aspect of the deepest gloom, and he replied, "To seek one who fled from me." "And did the man whom you pursued travel in the same fashion?" "Yes." "Then I fancy we have seen him, for the day before we picked you up, we saw some dogs drawing a sledge, with a man in it, across the ice." This aroused the stranger's attention, and he asked a multitude of questions concerning the route which the daemon, as he called him, had pursued. Soon after, when he was alone with me, he said, "I have doubtless excited your curiosity, as well as that of these good people, but you are too considerate to make inquiries." "Certainly, it would indeed be very impertinent and inhumane in me to trouble you with any inquisitiveness of mine, and yet you rescued me from a strange and perilous situation. You have benevolently restored me to life." Soon after this, he inquired if I thought that the breaking up of the ice had destroyed the other sledge. I replied that I could not answer with any degree of certainty, for the ice had not broken until near midnight, and the traveler might have arrived at a place of safety before that time, but of this I could not judge. From this time, a new spirit of life animated the decaying frame of the stranger. He manifested the greatest eagerness to be upon deck to watch the sledge which had before appeared. But I have persuaded him to remain in the cabin, for he is far too weak to sustain the rawness of the atmosphere. I have promised that someone should watch for him, and give him constant notice if any new object should appear in sight. Such is my journal of what relates to the strange occurrence up to the present day. The stranger has gradually improved in health, but is very silent and appears uneasy when anyone except myself enters his cabin. Yet his manners are so conciliating and gentle that the sailors are all interested in him, although they have had very little communication with him. For my own part, I begin to love him as a brother. Oh goodness, that's fast. I begin to love him as a brother, and his constant and deep grief fills me with sympathy and compassion. He must have been a noble creature in his better days, being even now in a wreck so attractive and amiable. Oh my god, he fancies him. Is this a love story? I see him as a brother, but he's also kind of hot. I said in one of my letters, my dear Margaret, that I should find no friend on the wide ocean. Yet I have found a man who, before his spirit had been broken by misery, I should have been happy to have possessed as the brother of my heart. I shall continue my journal concerning the stranger at intervals, should I have any fresh incidents to record. August 13th. My affection for my guest increases every day. He excites at once my admiration, my pity, to an astonishing degree. How can I see so noble a creature destroyed by misery without feeling the most poignant grief? He is so gentle, yet so wise. His mind is so cultivated, and when he speaks, although his words are culled with the choicest art, yet they flow with rapidity and unparalleled eloquence. He is now recovered from his illness and is continually on the deck. apparently watching for the sledge that preceded his own. Yet, although unhappy, he is not so utterly occupied by his own misery, but that he interests himself deeply in the projects of others. He has frequently conversed with me on mine, which I have communicated to him without disguise. He entered attentively into all my arguments in favor of my eventual success, and into every minute detail of the measures I had taken to secure it. I was easily led by the sympathy which he evinced to use the language of my heart, to give utterance to the burning ardor of my soul, and to say with all the fervor that warmed me, how gladly I would sacrifice my fortune, my existence, my every hope to the furtherance of my enterprise. One man's life or death were but a small price to pay for the acquirement of the blah. Oh my god, let's read that again. Sorry, my words are like becoming a string and they're tripping over each other. Goodness me. One man's life or death were but a small price to pay for the acquirement of knowledge which I sought, for the dominion I should acquire and transmit over the elemental foes of our race. As I spoke, a dark gloom spread over my listener's countenance. At first I perceived that he tried to suppress his emotion. He placed his hands before his eyes, and my voice quivered and failed me as I beheld tears trickle fast between his fingers. A groan burst from his heaving breast. I paused. At length he spoke, in broken accents. "Unhappy man, do you share my madness? Have you drunk also of the intoxicated draught? Hear me, let me reveal my tale, and you will dash the cup from your lips." Such words, you may imagine, strongly excited my curiosity, but the paroxysm? I'm gonna have to look that up. What I don't know what that means. Paroxysm? What is that? Paroxysm? Meaning? A sudden attack or outburst of a particular emotion or activity. Goodness, I've never heard of that in my life. Paroxysm. Now that's a fancy word if I've ever seen one. Let's add it to our list of words I don't understand. Well, now I do, but like words that are new to me. I swear I had a list. I swear I did. Where is it? Is it not at the top? Oh, here we go. Oh my god, it's literally already in the list. That's so funny. Oh goodness, that's embarrassing. Paroxysm. So what was it? It was a sudden attack or outburst of a particular emotion, right? Such words, you may imagine, strongly excited my curiosity, but the paroxysm of grief that had seized the stranger overcame his weakened powers, and many hours of repose and tranquil conversation were necessary to restore his composure. Having conquered the violence of his feelings, he appeared to despise himself for being the slave of passion, and quelling the dark tyranny of despair. He led me again to converse concerning myself personally. He asked me the history of my earlier years. The tale was quickly told, but it awakened various trains of reflection. I spoke of my desire of finding a friend, of my thirst for a more intimate sympathy with a fellow mind than had ever fallen to my lot, and expressed my conviction that a man could boast little happiness who did not enjoy this blessing. "I agree with you," replied the stranger. "We are unfashioned creatures, but half made up. If one wiser, better, dearer than ourselves, such a friend ought to be. Do not lend his aid to perfectionate our weak and faulty natures. I once had a friend, the most noble of human creatures, and am entitled, therefore, to judge respecting friendship. You have hope and the world before you, and have no cause for despair. But I have lost everything, and cannot begin life anew. As he said this, his countenance became expressive of a calm, settled grief that touched me to the heart. But he was silent, and presently retired to his cabin. Even broken in spirit as he is, no one can feel more deeply than he does the beauties of nature. The starry sky, the sea, and every sight afforded by these wonderful regions seems still to have the power of elevating his soul from earth. Such a man has a double existence. He may suffer misery and be overwhelmed by disappointments, yet when he has retired into himself, he will be like a celestial creature, a spirit that has a halo around him, within whose circle no grief or folly ventures. Did you smile at the enthusiasm I expressed concerning this divine wanderer? You would not if you saw him. You have been tutored and refined by books and retirement from the world, and you are therefore somewhat fastidious. But this only renders you the more fit to appreciate the extraordinary merits of this wonderful man. Sometimes I have endeavored to discover what quality it is which he possesses that elevates him so immeasurably above any other person I ever knew. I believe it to be an intuitive discernment, a quick but never failing power of judgment, a penetration into the causes of things, unequaled for clearness and precision. Add to this a facility of expression and a voice whose varied intonations are soul-subduing music. Yesterday, the stranger said to me, "You may easily perceive, Captain... Oh, sorry. August 19th. I forgot to say that. Yesterday, the stranger said to me, "You may easily perceive, Captain Walton, that I have suffered great and unparalleled misfortunes. I had determined at one time that the memory of these evils should die with me. But you have won me to alter my determination. You seek for knowledge and wisdom, as I once did, and I ardently hope that the gratification of my wishes may not be a serpent to sting you, as mine has been. I do not know that the relation of my disasters will be useful to you, yet when I reflect that you are pursuing the same course, exposing yourself to the same dangers which have rendered me what I am, I imagine that you may deduce an apt moral from my tale, one that may direct you if you succeed in your undertaking and console you in case of failure. Prepare to hear of occurrences which are usually deemed marvelous. Were we among the tamer scenes of nature, I might fear to encounter your unbelief, perhaps your ridicule, but many things will appear possible in these wild and mysterious regions, which would provoke the laughter of those unacquainted with the ever-varied powers of nature. Nor can I doubt but that my tale conveys in its series internal evidence of the truth of events of which it is composed. You may easily imagine that I was much gratified by the offered communication, yet I could not endure that he should renew his grief by a recital of his misfortunes. I felt the greatest eagerness to hear the promised narrative, partially from curiosity and partially from a strong desire to ameliorate his fate if it were in my power. I expressed these feelings in my answer. I thank you, he replied, for your sympathy. But it is useless. My fate is nearly fulfilled. I wait but for one event, and then I shall repose in peace. I understand your feeling, continued he, perceiving that I wished to interrupt him. But you are mistaken, my friend. If thus you will allow me to name you, nothing can alter my destiny. Listen to my history, and you will perceive how irrevocably it is determined. Hi, Koopsie. How are you? Hello. How are you doing? Goodness. I'm starting to think that if I do these reading streams more, I think I'd like to do only 2 hours of reading. Not because I don't enjoy it, but every time I've done this, after like 2 hours or something, I can feel my voice going like funky, you know? Which is really weird because usually I talk loads. But there's just something different about continuously speaking, I suppose. So maybe I should do 2 hours instead. And then some gaming or something? I don't know. Yes, I will have a further think about this. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'm gonna be right back, only for a few minutes, and then I will continue the story. Actually, I'm gonna finish this sentence and then I'm gonna be right back, because this is chapter 1, so this is a good place to continue. He then told me that he would commence his narrative the next day when I should be at leisure. This promise drew me the warmest thanks. I have resolved every night, when I am not imperatively occupied by my duties, to record, as nearly as possible in his own words, what he has related during the day. If I should be engaged, I will at least make notes. This manuscript will doubtless afford you the greatest pleasure, but to me, who know him, and who hear it from his own lips, with what interest and sympathy shall I read it in some future day? Even now, as I commence my task, his full-toned voice swells in my ears. His lustrous eyes dwell on me with all their melancholy sweetness. I see his thin hand raised in animation, while the lineaments of his face are irradiated by the soul within. Strange and harrowing must be his story, frightful the storm which embraced the gallant vessel on its course, and wrecked it thus. Okay, yes, now I will be right back. I'll only be a few minutes, and then we will continue. Please stretch your legs, have a drink and everything. I hope everyone's still awake, and yeah, see you in a minute. Hello, I've returned. Right, let's continue. Also, small intervention. I watched a VOD of myself recently, and there's actually a lot of background noise going on, so I'm so sorry. I think you guys told me when I first moved here there was like some sound going on, but it sounds so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm really gonna have to find a solution for that. Maybe I'll like play around with some like filters or something. I'll figure something out. But yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully I can, especially if I'm gonna, be doing reading streams. I think it's important that, because it's so much quieter when I'm just reading, so I feel like it's very much more noticeable, and I don't want it to be, so I will look into that, yes. Let us continue. Chapter 1. I am by birth a Genovese, and my family is one of the most distinguished of that republic. My ancestors had been for many years counselors and civics, and my father had filled several public situations with honor and reputation. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity and indefatigable attention to public business. He passed his younger days perpetually occupied by the affairs of his country. A variety of circumstances had prevented his marrying early, nor was it until the decline of life that he became a husband and the father of a family. As the circumstances of his marriage illustrate his character, I cannot refrain from relating them. One of his most intimate friends was a merchant who, from a flourishing state, fell through numerous mischances into poverty. This man, whose name was Beaufort, okay, whatever. Beaufort was of a proud and unbending disposition, and could not bear to live in poverty and oblivion in the same country where he had formerly been distinguished for his rank and magnificence. Having paid his debts, therefore, in the most honorable manner, both of these nuts. What? Okay. Having paid his debts, therefore, in the most honorable manner, he retreated with his daughter to the town of Lucerne, where he lived unknown and in wretchedness. My father loved Beaufort with the truest friendship, and was deeply grieved by his retreat in these unfortunate circumstances. He bitterly deplored the false pride which led his friend to a conduct so little worthy of the affection that united them. He lost no time in endeavoring to seek him out, with the hope of persuading him to begin the world again through his credit and assistance. Beaufort had taken effectual measures to conceal himself, and it was 10 months. His name, Beaufort. Well, that's not his name. His name is Beaufort. 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 Beaufort, of course. I knew you were going to say that. I had it in my head. I can see the future. Yes. And it was 10 months before my father discovered his abode. Overjoyed at this discovery, he hastened to the house, which was situated in a mean street near the Ruse. But when he entered, misery and despair alone welcomed him. Beaufort had saved but a very small sum of money from the wreck of his fortunes, but it was sufficient to provide him with a sustenance for some months, and in the meantime he hoped to procure some respectable employment in a merchant's house. The interval was consequently spent in inaction. His grief only became more deep and rankling when he had leisure for reflection. And at length it took so fast hold of his mind that at the end of 3 months he lay on a bed of sickness, incapable of any exertion. His daughter attended him with the greatest tenderness, but she saw with despair that their little fund was rapidly decreasing, and that there was no other prospect of support. But Caroline Beaufort possessed a mind of an uncommon mould, and her courage rose to support her in her adversity. She procured plain work, she plaited straw, and by various means contributed to earn a pittance scarcely sufficient to support life. Several months passed in this manner. Her father grew worse. Her time was more entirely occupied in attending him. Her means of subsistence decreased, and in the 10th month her father died in her arms, leaving her an orphan and a beggar. This last blow overcame her, and she knelt by Beaufort's coffin, weeping bitterly, when my father entered the chamber. He came like a protecting spirit to the poor girl, who committed herself to his care, and after the interment of his friend, he conducted her to Geneva, and placed her under the protection of a relation. 2 years after this event, Caroline became his wife. There was a considerable difference between the ages of my parents, but this circumstance seemed to unite them only closer in bonds of devoted affection. There was a sense of justice in my father's upright mind which rendered it necessary that he should approve highly to love strongly. Perhaps during former years he had suffered from the late discovered unworthiness of one beloved, and so was disposed to set a greater value on tried worth. There was a show of gratitude and worship in his attachment to my mother, differing wholly from the doting fondness of age, for it was inspired by reverence for her virtues and a desire to be the means of, in some degree, compensating her. Compensating her? Is that what they mean? I think so. In some degree, compensating her, I guess, for the sorrows she had endured, but which gave inexpressible grace to his behavior to her. Everything was made to yield to her wishes and her convenience. He strove to shelter her, as a fair exotic is sheltered by the gardener, from every rougher wind, and to surround her with all that could tend to excite pleasurable emotion in her soft and benevolent mind. Her health, and even the tranquillity of her hitherto constant spirit, had been shaken by what she had been through. During the 2 years that had elapsed previous to their marriage, my father had gradually relinquished all his public functions, and immediately after their union they sought the pleasant climate of Italy, and a change of scene and interest attendant on a tour through that land of wonders as a restorative for her weakened frame. Goodness. From Italy they visited Germany and France. I, their eldest child, was born at Naples, and as an infant accompanied them in their rambles. I remained for several years their only child. Much as they were attached to each other, they seemed to draw inexhaustible stores of affection from a very mine of love to bestow them upon me. My mother's tender caresses and my father's smile of benevolent pleasure while regarding me are my first recollections. I was their plaything and their idol, and something better, their child, the innocent and helpless creature bestowed on them by heaven, whom to bring up to good, and whose future lot it was in their hands to direct to happiness or misery, according as they fulfilled their duties towards me. With this deep consciousness of what they owed towards the being to which they had given life, added to the active spirit of tenderness that animated both, It may be imagined that while during every hour of my infant life I received a lesson of patience, of charity, and of self control, I was so guided by a silken cord that all seemed but one train of enjoyment to me. For a long time I was their only care. My mother had much desired to have a daughter, but I continued their single offspring. When I was about 5 years old, while making an excursion beyond the frontiers of Italy, they passed a week on the shores of the Lake Como. Their benevolent disposition often made them enter the cottages of the poor. This, to my mother, was more than a duty. It was a necessity, a passion, remembering what she had suffered, and how she had been relieved, for her to act in her turn the guardian angel to the afflicted. During one of their walks, a poor cot in the foldings of a veil attracted their notice as being singularly disconsolate, while the number of half-clothed children gathered about it spoke of penury in its worst shape. One day, when my father had gone by himself to Milan, my mother, accompanied by me, visited this abode. She found a peasant and his wife, hard-working, bent down by care and labor, distributing a scanty meal to 5 hungry babes. Among these there was one which attracted my mother far above all the rest. She appeared of a different stock. The 4 others were dark-eyed, hardy little vagrants. This child was thin and very fair. Her hair was the brightest living gold, and despite the poverty of her clothing, seemed to set a crown of distinction on her head. Her brow was clear and ample, her blue eyes cloudless, and her lips and the molding of her face so expressive of sensibility and sweetness that none could behold her without looking on her as of a distinct species, a being heaven-sent and bearing a celestial stamp in all her features. Hi, Ziki. Thank you for the hydrate. How have you been? It's been ages. Yeah, how have you been? What have you been up to lately? Anything exciting? I'm surviving for now. How have you been? I've been okay, I moved like a month ago. Now I live no longer in a city, but a town. And we're renting a house instead of an apartment. So, yeah, it's nice, yeah. Working a job that has better hours and stuff, so that's nice. It's an improvement, definitely. You live in the middle of nowhere now? No, I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I just don't live in a city anymore. It's still like a really busy town. It's just like not high buildings and rats and shit and like garbage everywhere. Typical city life. The closest grocery store is like 15 minutes away. It's okay. For you, definitely not for me. I've got a corner shop like a minute away. The big shop is like 10 minutes away by Uber, I think. Yeah. We're just working my lifespan away. Oh, have you been doing a lot of work? How much do you still have left till you've reached your goal? Because you had a goal you wanted to reach, didn't you? Uber, you rich? No, I'm not rich. We only go once a week, and we do like a huge shop, and we could take the bus, but first of all, Goopsie hates buses. So that's already a no-no. But also, when you look at it in like total, it's kind of the same price, because it would be £3, I think, per person to go there. So that would be £6 there and then £6 back. And a Uber is £6 there, £6 back, so it's the same thing. So it's kind of, it's not much of a difference. So I might as well just take the Uber, right? And it's only once a week because we do a huge shop. It's just because like we go to a Tesco that has like everything. So we just go there, buy everything we need for the week, and if we like need something small, we'll just go to the corner shop. So that's the plan. I'm getting there, just walking my puppy on 40. Oh, how's your puppy? How's your puppy doing? So how much free time do you get? How many hours do you work a day? I hope it's not too much. You gotta take care of it. I know you want to reach your goal, but you know, you do need to take care of your mental health. Otherwise you're gonna, you know, get a burnout. I know lots of people that got burnouts. It's terrible, you know? Completely fucks you up. Being bad. Yeah, I mean, he is a puppy. Puppies are, you can't control them. They'll just do what they want to do. But now he's smart, that's good. I only work 12 to 16 hours. Only? That is insane. Oh God, I feel so bad for you. When I worked a 12-hour shift, that was only like once or twice a week sometimes. I was dead, man. How can you do that every day? Goodness. Well, you better get enough sleep and eat enough. I can't wait till he's 2 years old. What is that, when they stop misbehaving? With enough sleep and good foods. Okay, that's good, that's good. That's the main thing now, when you to take care of. And also relaxing, you know, for your mentals. You played any good games recently? But yeah, how much longer do you think we'll have to do those long shifts till you've reached it? A few years, or no, it just starts to grow some brain cells. That's fair. Don't know if dogs ever do, you know? So they're all just donuts, really. End of this year? Really? Oh, that's great! Or maybe February? That's still like so close. Oh, you got this! You got this! I'm ready for you! I'm ready for you! That's so close. Oh, that's really good. I'm glad. I only play Overwatch with Brian. Oh goodness, playing a competitive game on your free time? That sounds stressful. Why don't you watch my stream and you listen to me read a book? That's much more chill. Hello, Zedrim. Hello. Let me give you a shout out. Hello. How are you today, Zedrim? Hello. Thank you for the follow, Wolf. Thank you, thank you. Dad jail. Yeah, that's for the bad people that make dad jails. Sorry, that make dad jokes. Not dad jails. That make dad jokes. Yes, yes, yes. How are you guys? Hello. What did you stream today? What did you get up to? Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. We're reading some Frankenstein today. I know that Halloween is over, but we really enjoyed reading Carmilla. So I was like, hey, why stop? I hope stream is going well. a Tylus emote. Oh my god, that's Tylus. I know that guy. I hope stream is going well. Yeah. Stream is going well. I'm enjoying the book. And honestly, I'm feeling so chill. This makes me feel like reading the book with you guys is just like a vibe. It's really calming. This is like meditation to me. Maybe this is what I need to do to reduce my stress. Aren't bad jokes and dad jokes technically the same thing? Yes. Yes, they are. Good observation, wise man. Indeed. Sorry to raid and around, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your stream. Wait! Oh, sorry. I thought I gave the shout out to the wrong person for a second there. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Hey, you go rest. You know, you go chill out. It's all good. Children, if you want to go, you know, if you need to chill out after your stream, please do. Please do. You know, take care of yourself.
Get out of your chair right now.
I don't mind. Thank you so much for rating me again. I would argue dad jokes are fun, but there are bad dad jokes. I would say dad jokes are like really silly and like really bad, and that's what makes them funny, you know? Also, hi Natsu, hello, how are you today? How's your Sunday going? You having a good Sunday? Did you get up to anything exciting? I, for one, went grocery shopping. I did a clean of the house. I bought a fern. I bought a cake. Only ate half of it. Drank a coffee. And then did some Elder Scroll research, which I think is pretty productive. I mean, come on, people, come on. But yeah, give me cake and coffee. I could do one better. What about coffee cake? All in one. I mean, I slept, so that's always fun. I slept too. I slept till 9 a.m. and I was like, hallelujah. Feels so nice, you know? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Wow, productive. I chilled in front of the computer. Hey, that's great as well, you know? I cannot do that, sadly. I have to clean the house every week. Otherwise, I have a mental breakdown. There's just something about having a clean house and like everything's clean. It just makes me feel so serene. I'm like in the space. I'm like, oh, yes. Now I can just think of nothing, you know? Like, I have to vacuum, I have to dust, I have to do the dishes, I have to do the washing. When those are done, I'm like, yes. Oh, and do groceries. Koopsy's saying he vacuumed this week. He did. But I'm just saying, when those things are done, hallelujah, I am relaxing now. Like, I'm one of the people that has to do this stuff first before they can relax. I cannot relax and then do it. No. If I sit down, nothing's happening. You know? How are you, Natsu? How are you? Like, how are you feeling? Because you slept. Were you just really exhausted? I made coffee cake and coffee. Oh, both? Ooh. Fancy. Okay, why not? I've never had both. Oh, have I? I think I might have, actually. Putting anything but coffee in coffee ruins it. That's not true. I love my coffee as a latte, and if I'm feeling fancy, I'll either add cinnamon or hazelnut syrup. Hazelnut syrup. Oh, amazing. I think that's probably the only syrup I add. It's just so good, so nice. But only if I'm feeling fancy. Otherwise, it's honey. 9 a.m. I won't say anything when I woke up. No, don't worry. Listen. When I used to just go to university, I would wake up whenever, right? Like 10 a.m. was early, 11 a.m. is early, 12 a.m. is early, right? But now I'm used to waking up at 7:30, so 9 a.m. is late for me now because that's what my brain is used to. But I mean, like I said, it depends on your schedule. If you're used to waking up early, that is like late, You know? You know what I mean? Clean houses, clean mind, exactly. 2:30 p.m. here. Lol, been chilling in Minecraft with Soy and friend. Oh, really? That's so nice. What have you been doing in Minecraft? I hope not blowing up my house. Grr. I don't hold grudges, guys. I don't hold grudges. Very valid. First clean, then relax. It is just the truth. That's the way to live. Never clean, never relax. No. I would say I can come clean your house, but like I think it's a bit too far away. Like, I'm serious. I actually wouldn't mind doing that. If you like, you know, reward me with a cake. Like, genuinely, it feels actually really nice for me to see like a clean house after it was dirty. It's just a satisfying thing about it. It's like, I did that. Yeah. Like, before and after pictures, I have to say that's like a drug to me. Like, that's amazing. I like love watching shows where they like transform a house. It's like, yes. That like just scratches that itch, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm addicted to cleaning. Interesting. To be fair, I made coffee flavored milk the other day with a bit of vanilla sugar and it was good. Stop calling it that! It's a coffee! I'm sleeping a lot since this hibernation season. Hellhounds sleep when it's cold outside. That's fair. Like, your fire is probably diminishing a bit. You know, gotta keep inside, gotta keep warm. Coffee is great to mix with things. Coffee muffins or coffee cake is great. I've never had coffee muffins. I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere. Coffee cake, loads, but coffee cake and walnuts. Oh, yes, yes, yes! I wake up at 2 a.m. Yeah, but when do you go to work? Get back to work, hellhound. I can't do another 4 months of winter. Sorry, I'm afraid that's the reality of things. Say, I've been not blowing up your house. Cool. That's really nice. Actually, if I could trade cooking and baking for cleaning, I'd take that deal 100% of the time. Dude, that'd be so fun. I wish you'd like live close by it. That could be like my social time, you know? I clean, we talk, you made me cake. Perfect. Yeah. Like, honestly, oh my god, actually, I did that for my sisters. Like, when I still lived at home and I was like, and my sisters were like, well, actually, one of my sisters, she's like the opposite. She is a dirty bitch, okay? No, she's she's not very like tidy. So I would like, when she's not at home, I would like go in her room to like vacuum and like, you know, fold everything, because it would bother me so much. Oh my god, I would walk past her room and I'd be like, don't do it, and then as soon as she's gone, I just do it. I can't. No, it was literally coffee flavored milk. I heated up a cup of milk and added instant coffee and vanilla sugar to it. But it's got instant coffee in it. That's coffee. What do you mean? In fact, I think I'm gonna do that right now. It's really late. What? You'd get fat. I would get fat. Well, actually, I eat a lot of sugary things, and I am yet to get fat. So, but I feel like if I keep doing this, I'm gonna like turn 35, and suddenly it's gonna hit me like a truck, and I'm suddenly gonna like gain a bunch of weight. I can already like see it happening. Like, ever since I moved out from my parents' house, I indulge in so much. I've never had this much freedom, and it's like hard to like control, you know? Like, cake is everywhere, and I've got the money to buy it. Oh my god. And I can't stop. Somebody stop me. But I'm tired. Getting the goodest. You've already slept all day. I'll go to work at 4 a.m. Oh, sicky. Goodness me. Well, hopefully by the end of the year, you get to go away from that job and you get to be a human being again. I just numb and sleep. Isn't that the way? I can't sleep. Oh, little Ojo, it's okay. You got this. Let's finish this chapter because it's almost 10, and then you all get to go to sleep. What's a human being? You're a human being. You're a human being. You deserve yummy food, and you deserve sleep, and you deserve a funny game and funny movie, and you deserve an occasional cuddle. Okay? You're a human being. Anyway. Sorry. I'm getting like a weird sugar spike. Anyway, Noah, I was digging nether tunnels for ice roads in Minecraft. I want to build infrastructure so people can live wherever they want on the server and have easy travel. Okay, important question. Is it gonna be ugly or is it gonna be aesthetically pleasing? That's my citizen question. My mind is beeping me again. It's okay, I'll distract you with this story. Ha 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 ha. Yep. I'm funny occasionally. Sometimes. Anyway, you're distracting me right now. I need to finish my mission. And my voice is going, so I need to... okay. The peasant... Oh my god, my voice. No! Sorry, my voice is going. Well, it's ugly right now, but no, the idea is to make it pretty. Nice. Good. Very nice. Yes. The peasant woman, perceiving that my mother fixed eyes of wonder and admiration on this lovely girl, eagerly communicated her history. She was not her child, but the daughter of a Milanese nobleman. Her mother was a German and had died on giving her birth. The infant had been placed with these good people to nurse. They were better off then. They had not been long married, and their eldest child was but just born. The father of their charge was one of those Italians nursed in the memory of the antique glory of Italy, one among the Schiavi Ognor Prementi, who exerted himself to obtain the liberty of his country. He became the victim of its weakness. Whether he had died or still lingered in the dungeons of Austria was not known. His property was confiscated. His child became an orphan and a beggar. She continued with foster parents and bloomed in their rude abode, fairer than a garden, rose among dark-leaved brambles. But Noah, you yap for 4 hours every stream. Your reading voice is wrong. What do you mean my reading voice is wrong? What does that mean, eh? When my father returned from Milan, he found playing with me in the hall of our villa a child fairer than pictured cherub, a creature who seemed to shed radiance from her looks, and whose form and motions were lighter than the chamois of the hills. The apparition was soon explained. With his permission, my mother prevailed on her rustic guardians to shield their charge to her. They were fond of the sweet orphan. Her presence had seemed a blessing to them, but it would be unfair to her to keep her in poverty and want when Providence afforded her such powerful protection. They consulted their village priest, and the result was that Elizabeth Lavenza became the inmate of my parents' house. My more than sister, the beautiful and adored companion of all my occupations and my pleasures. Everyone loved Elizabeth. The passionate and almost reverential attachment with which all regarded her became, while I shared it, my pride and my delight. On the evening previous to her being brought to my home, my mother had said playfully, I have a pretty present for my Victor. Tomorrow he shall have it. And when, on the morrow, she presented Elizabeth to me as her promised gift, I, with childish seriousness, interpreted her words literally, and looked upon Elizabeth as mine, mine to protect, love, and cherish. All praises bestowed on her I received as made to a possession of my own. We called each other familiarly by the name of cousin. No word, no expression could body forth the kind of relation in which she stood to me. My more than sister, since till death she was to be mine only. Goodness. And the following update of the train conductor engineer Wiseman, we now have a wagon installed to our train. Hooray! If you're losing your voice when reading out loud, you're doing something different than when you're just yapping, i.e. you're putting on a reading voice and you're doing it wrong somehow. How can I do it wrong? The main thing I do different when, that sounds kind of is the, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah. Why is every book we read incest? Why? What is the obsession? Why are you always reading incest books? That's literally what I was just. Not on purpose. Obviously, I don't know what's in these books. But yeah, I'm putting on a voice kind of because I'm like concentrating on pronouncing everything correctly, but also at the same time I'm trying to be like quieter than I usually am, and so I am putting on a voice it's still my voice, it's just more like calm, and I'm trying to pronounce everything correctly. So I am putting more strain and effort on my voice, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, last time when I was sick, that was really hard because my voice was like basically gone at the end. But I don't know. He has a bit more whispery and breathy, so it might be straining if it's a bit unnatural to you. Is it breathy? Wait, you can hear me breathe? That's gross. I'm so sorry. I'll stop breathing. I'm sorry. Well, people are suggesting her what to read, so she has no idea about the content. This is true, wise man. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's why I said so there. Not breathy like that. Breathy like what then? Oh, like I have to say more words? Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I had pain in my voice when I used to be in my band, because they would ask me to sing like male artist songs, and I would try to like match the notes that they would reach, and that would like kill my voice. So I mean, yeah, I suppose I'm just really straining my voice right now. Breathy like low, demure. Sorry, I only know that word from memes. Hello everyone, how you guys doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I know, you know. Yes, I'm having a good day. I'm just sad that I've only got a 1-day weekend. But that's okay. You know? We'll get through this, guys. You and I, you and me, we together. Yes. But yes, we didn't read very much today, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like a lot of today was talking. I feel like I was talking my head off. Like, if someone's gonna watch the VOD, all they're gonna see is me like, okay, anyway, let's read, and then like one like paragraph, and then I feel like I was old. It's funny as well, when you read on this website, it like tells you how many minutes it's supposed to take. Obviously, it's gonna take longer, but that's pretty interesting. I like that they did that. 1797. Also, did people know that the middle name of Mary is Wollstonecraft? Or is that not her middle name? Like, that's what he looks like. Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. I never knew. Oh no, Pernilla, I hope you're doing well. I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay. I was just really, really tired yesterday, but I slept in today, so I feel so much better. Like, I feel properly well rested today. Just, yes, oh, I was just so out of it yesterday. So I'm very happy that I got my rest today, and then tomorrow we've got work, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I did before, but I wouldn't say it's a fact I think about every day. No, I obviously I'm not gonna think about it every day. It's just like, I'm surprised. I didn't know that. But yes. What about you, Venom? Are you having a lovely day? Did you have a good weekend? But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for today. Because I don't want to start this chapter because this is such a good place to stop. You know, it's before titles, good to remember. But yeah, I was having an exam and being chill. Ooh, how's your exam going? But yeah, that. So far, the book is pretty interesting. It's feeling a bit weird with the sister, but we shall see. I feel like a lot of the interactions seem like very familiar with each other. Like, I feel like the sailor that met Victor, he's also like, he's hot, you know? Like, maybe it's just really common to call people like beautiful and hot and like, wow, ahuga, you know? Even to your like sister and stuff. Maybe that's normal. I don't know. Maybe people were just more incesty back in the day or more open about it. I don't think so. I think it was just more common to like call your sister like beautiful and like, oh my god, the angel and all that, you know? Whereas today, I suppose you wouldn't really do that. Sorry, that was not a burp. I was yawning. She's letting you know, I don't burp. I don't do that. Yeah, I had a lovely time with you guys today. I don't know. I don't have to say, but at all, really, wow. I have like 4. Exhausting. Actually, one of my sisters watches my streams sometimes. Terrifying. You never know when she's gonna be around. She'd be here right now. I'm just glad my dad doesn't watch my streams. I think he'd get a heart attack. So I don't know what's normal, although I think some sister brother act weird with each other. I don't know anyone that does that at all. Well, I have 4-3 brothers, is 1 sister. Wow, that poor sister all alone. Goodness me. Well, that's loads. Why would he get a heart attack? You're like the most say so streamer ever. What is say so? Well, because I curse a lot and I like say everything that's happening to me. So I might say like a story that he's like, oh, how dare she do that? Oh my god, how could she? Oh my god, what happened? You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's why she's a queen and a bullier. Oh, I see, of course. She's a spoiled brat. Yes, that makes sense. It all makes sense. It all aligns. I think it's mainly like my dad doesn't really understand online things like at all, because I mean he's old, so that makes sense. He's like 60. Oh, ancient. So like whenever I had like online stuff happening, he would just think the worst things, you know. So I think that's the main thing. Like, he wouldn't understand why I'm a talking cat girl right now. You'd be like, oh, you're into weird stuff kind of thing, you know? But yeah, anyway, enough about that. You're halfway to 60 now. No, I'm not! Oh my god, don't say that! No! But sometimes she acts like a cat when she needs something. You can break her heart, so you don't have choice. You have to do what she wants. Damn. He's right. VTubers are weird. I'm not weird. I'm a normal person. But aim and Grand Noah. No, I'm not. I'm not old. Don't say that. No, I'm not halfway 60. I'm not gonna get this out of my mind now that I'm almost halfway 60. That's terrifying. Already past the big 2, and now I'm gonna pass the big 3. Well, not now, but like that's the big one. That's the next big one. It's okay to be old. I mean, I know that, you know, you should be grateful to age, because that means you're like living, and living is cool. But God, you know, sometimes God, pros and cons, you know, pros and cons. There's like new pains and things that you have to deal with. I'm not even old, but I'm old enough to experience the suck. The suck. This is what I'm saying. Will you see my age? If you see my face, you think I'm 30. I'm sure I wouldn't. I'm sure I wouldn't. But yeah, it's just like the main thing that sucks about getting old is just like you start seeing yourself being old, and you start feeling old, because like you just, there's more that your body like can't do, you know? Like random pains that you suddenly get for like no reason. Less energy, heal slower, hurt easier, eyesight is going to, oh, my eyesight is so bad actually, like I'm blind. And lose friends. That is true, that is true. I've got a few online friends, but I feel like I've got like one, my own, you know, not Koopsie's friends, like my own in real life friend that I see, but she lives in Belgium, so it's like I get that because I have white hair. Oh, but that's so cool, black and white hair, that's sick, dude. I wanted like white highlights, but my hairdresser kept fucking it up and making it yellow. So that's really cool to me. But to be fair, you also moved away from home. Yeah, which is really silly, honestly. Huge, like, social debuff. Now I have to make new friends. No! Rah! Like, I know one person, but he, like, doesn't live close, so I'd have to take the train. Sadness. Well, I like yellow. You like yellow hair? That's a lie. Just wait 10 to 15 years. No, you'll have white highlights. Thank you, say. Oh, I don't think it's gonna be 10 to 15 years, but thank you. Some of my whiskers are turning undead. Oh goodness, undead? What? Whiskers, huh? Huh? You don't have whiskers? Oh my god, I don't have whiskers. How do I feel? Some people go gray in their 20s. That's true. But usually it's like either genetic or stress, no? It's okay, Noah. You could come visit me. Yeah, but you don't live in the UK. You don't even live here. She doesn't even go here. Whiskers is another word for beard hair. Oh, really? I've never heard anyone say that. That's so weird. Oh my god. Last time, actually, you reminded me something. Last time at work, one of my colleagues, so I went for my lunch break, right? And she was like, "Ooh, how was your dinner?" I'm like, do you mean like when I'm gonna eat for dinner? And she's like, "No, how's your dinner?" I'm like, you mean my lunch? Apparently, she says dinner for lunch, And actual dinner she calls tea. I was like, what the fuck? I knew about tea. I knew that people call dinner tea, but I've never heard someone call dinner lunch. What? Typical UK. I know, it's so confusing. And I love that I'm so infiltrated that they'll just say that and expect that I understand what that means. It's just like, what? I don't understand. Last time me and my sister had this like really confusing conversation because on the menu it said like puddings for dessert, and and it said like there was like pudding on it as well, and she was like, does it mean pudding as dessert or does it mean pudding as pudding? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. They just use the same words. It's so confusing. It's so frustrating. Damn English people, man. For being the inventors of the English language, the English were really bad with it. I know. It's so good. But to be fair, it is like really local. Like Koopsie, for example, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say like tea for dinner. He doesn't say dinner for lunch. Like, he doesn't do that. So like it really depends. Mince is meat, but my mince meat is fruit. I know. I remember first time going to the UK, buying a like mince pie. I think, whoa, he's gonna have mince meat, and it was like sweet. I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Make any sense. Sweet bread is bread, and sweet bread is meat. Wait, sweet. What? Yeah, I know. It's so confusing. I bet like tourists have like heart attacks coming here. It's so funny. But anyway, I think it's fun like finding out all these little things. It's just so funny. I love language. It's fun. But I think I'm gonna go for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been very, very, very fun. I know we didn't read very much, but we read the first chapter, guys. That's great. I know that sounds bad, but we had like 4 letters to get through first, so there. But yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get back. I still have to post a schedule. But it will be either Monday or Wednesday. I will have to see. I have to ask you guys first when we can play World of Warcraft together, because I want to prioritize that. It was cozy to listen to while playing Minecraft. That's good. I hope the tunnel is going well. But yeah, take care of yourself, guys. Eat enough, sleep enough, all that very important and all that. Otherwise, I will be in your walls and I don't pay rent because that's cringe. But yeah, I will be back next week. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. Relax, stretch your legs, drink water, you know. And see you soon. Bye bye, guys. Bye. Good night. Bye bye.